Can you imagine the sheer audacity of trading your $180 million quarterback midseason to save a rival's Super Bowl aspirations? Welcome to the wild world of NFL desperation, where the New York Jets and Atlanta Falcons might be cooking up the most shocking trade scenario of the decade. While everyone's focused on the usual offseason drama, two franchises are quietly staring down potential disasters that could define their next 5 years. The Jets are gambling everything on Justin Fields, a quarterback who's never thrown 20 touchdowns in a season. Meanwhile, the Falcons are trapped in salary cap hell with Kirk Cousins, a $180 million investment they've already given up on. But what if these two nightmares could solve each other? The Fields experiment. High stakes, higher risk. Let's address the elephant in MetLife Stadium. The Justin Fields signing represents one of the most brazen gambles in recent Jets history. Sure, Fields posted a respectable 4-2 record as Pittsburgh's starter last season, but that success story comes with more red flags than a Soviet parade. Those wins came behind the Steelers' suffocating defense and a ground-heavy offense designed to hide his passing limitations. Strip away the window dressing, and you'll find a quarterback with a catastrophic 10-28 career record as a starter, someone who's never eclipsed 2,600 passing yards or 20 touchdown passes in a single season. For a Jets organization that's been quarterback-starved since the Joe Namath era, this feels less like strategic planning and more like throwing darts blindfolded. But here's where the plot thickens. The Jets didn't just sign Fields and pray for miracles. They've maintained substantial salary cap flexibility, almost as if they're positioning themselves for a midseason pivot. Enter Rick Spielman, the Jets' senior football consultant who shares deep Minnesota roots with Kirk Cousins. Coincidence? In the NFL, there are no coincidences, only opportunities disguised as accidents. Atlanta's $180 million catastrophe. Down in Atlanta, the Falcons are living every franchise's worst nightmare, being handcuffed to a quarterback they no longer trust but can't afford to abandon. Cousins' debut season wasn't just disappointing, it was a masterclass in how quickly things can unravel at the highest level. 18 touchdown passes against 16 interceptions tells only part of the story. The real damage came in the timing and circumstances of his benching. Think about the unprecedented nature of that decision. With 3 games remaining in the NFC South title within reach, Atlanta chose to roll the dice with rookie Michael Penix Jr. rather than trust their $180 million veteran. That wasn't just a coaching decision, it was an organizational referendum on Cousins' ability to perform under pressure. When a franchise makes that kind of statement with playoff implications on the line, it sends shockwaves throughout the league. The message was clear: we'd rather lose with our rookie than win with our expensive veteran. The psychological damage from that benching extends far beyond Cousins' confidence. It creates an impossible dynamic for 2025. How do you rebuild trust with a quarterback you publicly declared wasn't good enough for your biggest games? The perfect storm brewing. Here's where speculation transforms into genuine possibility. The Jets enter 2025 with championship aspirations built on everything except quarterback stability. They've assembled a roster designed to compete immediately: elite receivers, solid ground game, championship-caliber defense. But none of it matters if Fields crumbles under pressure. Brad Gagnon of Bleacher Report highlighted the Jets' unique position: substantial salary cap flexibility, organizational connections to Cousins through Spielman, and a win-now mentality that could justify a bold midseason move. The timeline aligns almost too perfectly. If Fields struggles early or suffers an injury, the Jets would face immediate quarterback desperation. Meanwhile, the Falcons would be motivated to move Cousins' contract and fully commit to Penix's development. Why this trade benefits everyone for New York? Acquiring Cousins represents the ultimate insurance policy. They're not abandoning the Fields experiment entirely, but they're ensuring veteran stability if their gamble backfires. Cousins brings something Fields has never demonstrated: consistent pocket presence and the ability to dissect complex defenses under pressure. In a Jets offensive system built around quick, precise throws to elite receivers, those skills could unlock championship potential that's been dormant for decades. Cousins has thrown for over 4,000 yards multiple times and possesses extensive playoff experience, credentials that could prove invaluable in January. For Atlanta, moving Cousins solves multiple problems simultaneously. The salary cap relief of $50+ million would provide flexibility to address other roster needs while eliminating the psychological burden of having an expensive, benched veteran undermining their young quarterback's confidence. The Falcons could potentially recoup draft capital while creating a clean slate for Penix's development. Sometimes the best move isn't finding the perfect solution, it's removing the obstacles preventing your existing solutions from succeeding. The Spielman factor. More than coincidence, Rick Spielman's presence in the Jets' front office isn't merely coincidental, it's potentially the catalyst that makes this complicated trade surprisingly feasible. Spielman and Cousins developed a strong working relationship during their Minnesota tenure, understanding both his capabilities and limitations. If anyone can architect an offensive system that maximizes Cousins' strengths while minimizing his weaknesses, it's Spielman. That personal connection could prove crucial in navigating contract negotiations and ensuring Cousins embraces his role in New York's championship pursuit. The domino effect across the league, this potential trade, represents more than roster shuffling between two franchises. It could revolutionize how teams approach mid-season quarterback acquisitions. If the Jets successfully trade for Cousins and he catalyzes a championship run, it would validate using veteran quarterback trades as playoff catalysts. Other contending teams would take notice, potentially creating the most active midseason quarterback market in NFL history. Veterans like Russell Wilson and Ryan Tannehill could suddenly find themselves in high demand as franchises seek to replicate the Jets' hypothetical success. The human drama behind the headlines, beyond strategic analysis and salary cap mathematics, lies a compelling human story. Cousins is 37 years old, potentially facing his final realistic championship opportunity. The Jets' loaded roster might represent his last chance to capture that elusive Super Bowl ring. For Fields, this scenario creates ultimate motivation. Nothing drives competitive athletes quite like knowing their organization is actively seeking alternatives. This speculation could either ignite his best performances or create additional pressure, leading to the struggles that make the trade inevitable. When desperation meets opportunity as we approach the 2025 season, this storyline contains all the elements of a blockbuster trade that materializes when nobody expects it. Two franchises with different timelines and complementary problems that could solve each other's biggest headaches. The Jets need quarterback stability and championship experience. The Falcons need salary cap relief and a psychological fresh start for their young quarterback. Sometimes the most unlikely partnerships create the most successful outcomes. The foundation for this trade is stronger than most realize, and in a league where quarterback desperation drives rational franchises to make bold moves, this story deserves close attention. The next few months could reveal whether two franchises are willing to bet their futures on the idea that sometimes the grass really is greener on the other side. Will Kirk Cousins actually don green and white by November? That remains to be seen. But stranger things have happened when desperation meets opportunity in the NFL's high-stakes chess game. Could this be the trade that reshapes both franchises' destinies? Drop your boldest predictions in the comments below, and hit that like button if you're ready to witness what might be the most shocking midseason move in recent memory.